Hello, in this video we're going to be going over the UOP FX wedges indicator. This is a very cool breakout pattern indicator that I like. Wedges is one of my favorite patterns. So I'm going to show you how to set this up. Now, out the box, everything should be fine the way it is. Maximum bars in history. I typically don't like that much data. So I'd only go back either 500 or 1,000 because I'm not going to be back testing back that far. And if you have a lot of candles open here, it can slow down the speed of your MT4. Wedge type, you can do forward and backwards, forward only or backwards only. It's up to you. I typically leave those default. You can either do ascending wedges or descending. I normally do both. MACD filter, that just depends on when the signal appears. If it's going to appear over a cross with the MACD crossover or not. So you can leave this on for the MACD crossover or turn it off. Typically, I like to have it off, but some people like to have it on if they trade the MACD crossovers. You can set alerts with this. Background color is default. Reset chart colors, I'm going to do no because I don't want to change the background of my chart. And breakout, penetration, ATRs. It's up to you, whatever you put with this. I normally leave that default, but you can kind of play with it to see how the patterns will respond to your changes that you make there. Now, if you look at this, typically, let me do this, okay? Now, typically, wedge patterns are reversal patterns and or breakout patterns, okay? So you're going to wait until the arrow appears before you even consider jumping into a wedge trade. Also, if you know anything about wedges, you're not going to trade a wedge until price breaks outside of the wedge is when you will possibly look for an entry. Now, I'm not going to go into a full-fledged detailed training in this particular video, but just to give you an idea, look at this example here. You see that you have the wedge pattern drawn here, and you notice that, I don't know how well you can see that. Here, let's come back. But you notice that price breaks out of this wedge, and then once price breaks out, that's when you look for a potential entry, because usually that means that price is going to continue that way. Now, with this indicator, you're not going to win every single last trade. I do recommend that you use price action and you do your own analysis before you just trade on a wedge signal. So you want to look at where this pattern is actually forming at after you do your top-down analysis. And once you decide that, or you determine that, then you can decide whether or not you want to actually jump in a trade that this indicator does, because it's not perfect. Nothing is perfect. But the beautiful thing about it is it does not repaint at all. So you're not going to have to worry about repainting signals. And it's a great tool for you to use as confluence, which is what I use it for, okay, to kind of help me make my trading decisions based upon the analysis I've already done prior to me looking at anything from this indicator. So we will have additional training on wedges inside of our training vault, so you can check that out. And then based upon what you learned there, you can kind of decide whether or not if you want to use this or not, okay? But it's just another great tool for you to use to, again, gain additional confluence with your trading.